Have you ever caught yourself or someone you love looking across the dinner table at a husband of decades and wondering, when did I start feeling this way? What began as a spark of love, a flutter of admiration, somehow morphs into a quiet simmer of dislike, a creeping distance, maybe even a flicker of resentment. It's not a mystery whispered in the dark. It's a practical, boots-on-the-ground reality hitting long-term marriages every day. And here's the kicker. It's not just drifting apart or some vague cliche. It's rooted in tangible, fixable reasons that pile up over time, like dust on a shelf you forgot to clean. In this video, we're cracking open the why behind women starting to dislike their husbands as the years roll on. And trust me, it's more relatable than you think. Better yet, we're digging into how to flip the script and rebuild something stronger, richer, maybe even hotter than what you started with. Stick around to the end, because I'm dropping a bombshell insight backed by science and a story that'll hit you square in the chest. That could be the key to turning that dislike into a love you never thought possible. This isn't fluff. It's your wake-up call to a marriage that thrives, not just survives. Before we dive in, hit that like button. It fuels this mission to unpack real relationship truths. Not subscribed? Click that button. Tap the bell. Don't miss a beat. Love this? Drop a 1 in the comments. Not vibing? A 0 keeps me sharp, ready to uncover why dislike sneaks in and how to kick it out. Let's get real. Let's start where it all begins. Time. Picture those early days, your husband's crooked smile lighting up a room, his impulsive road trips thrilling your soul. Even the way he'd leave his coffee mug half full on the counter felt quirky, lovable, like a little signature of his chaos. That's how it was for me, too. My college sweetheart's late-night ramblings were poetry back then. Fast forward 2 decades, and that smile's a smug grin when he's late again. Those road trips are, why can't he plan anything? And the mug, a daily war. I'm tired of fighting. Time doesn't just tick, it transforms. What once fueled butterflies now stokes a slow burn of irritation, and I've seen it everywhere. Take my friend Sarah, 52, married 25 years. He used to make me laugh till I cried, she told me over coffee, her eyes tired. Now his jokes just mean he's dodging the bills. A 2021 study from the Journal of Marriage and Family backs her up. Couples' satisfaction drops 15% after 10 years as life piles on. Kids screaming, mortgage looming, jobs grinding. That ambition she adored? It's workaholism leaving her solo at dinner. His chill vibe? Now it's he's checked out. I've felt it too. My ex's guitar strums went from serenades to noise, keeping me awake while I balanced the checkbook. Time tests love's shine, turning charm into chores when you're not looking. It's not that love dies, it's that expectations shift. Early on, we're high on hope, blind to flaws. Years in, reality bites, responsibilities mount, and quirks grate like sandpaper. Ever catch yourself snapping over something small, like his socks on the floor, and wonder why it's a big deal now? That's time whispering. You've changed, he hasn't, and the gap's growing. The fix? Check in, talk about what's shifted, laugh at the old days, adjust. Sarah and her guy started weekly no-kid dinners. Small, but it's stitching them back. Time's a beast. Tame it together, or it'll chew you apart. Next, let's talk load. Life's heavy lifting. She's got the kids' science fair, grocery list, her Zoom call, and a leaky faucet. Meanwhile, he's on the couch, ESPN blaring, asking what's for dinner. I've lived this. My mom, 60, once slammed a pot down, glaring at Dad. I'm not his maid, I'm his wife. That hit me hard. Over time, women often haul the bulk. Chores, emotions, the invisible glue holding it together. A 20-month Pew Research stat says it loud. Women do 70% of unpaid homework, even in modern setups. That's not a team. That's her drowning while he floats. It's more than dishes, it's the mental grind. She tracks dentist visits, his mom's birthday, the dog shots, he forgets his own socks. My aunt, 58, vented, "I'm exhausted being the adult for both of us. I've been there, planning holidays while he napped, resentment bubbling like a kettle. When he doesn't pitch in, she's not just tired, she's alone." A 2020 American Sociological Review study found unbalanced loads triple resentment odds in women over 50. Ever feel like you're raising him too? That's the weight pressing down. Dislike isn't hate, it's a cry for help. Flip it, share the load, literally. My cousin's husband, 55, started cooking Tuesdays after she broke down. "I didn't see it," he admitted. "Now they're tighter." Mom and dad split bills. She's softer now. It's practical. See her burden, lift it, or watch dislike cement. Uneven loads don't just strain backs, they break hearts. Now intimacy, the raw stuff. Early on, his touch sparked wildfires, electric, alive. Now it's a peck, if that, or a not tonight shrug. I've heard it. My cousin, 55, sighed. "He doesn't even look at me anymore." Menopause hits, libido dips, dryness, stings, fatigue weighs. A 2020 Kinsey Institute report says 40% of women over 50 feel this fade. Hormones shift, stress piles. He's not immune, testosterone drops, or he's too buried in work to notice her. Result? A bed that's more battlefield than playground. It's deeper than sex. It's the drift. No flirty texts, no "you're beautiful." She's a ghost. I've felt that chill. My ex stopped holding my hand, and I felt old at 35. She's not mad, she's unseen. A 2021 Journal of Sex Research study says intimacy loss doubles emotional disconnect in long-term pairs. Ever miss that spark but dread asking? That's the cold creeping in. Dislikes the scar of neglect. Rewarm it, start small. Hugs, real talks. My friend's husband, 57, left her notes after they fought about it. Simple, but she's thawing. "He sees me again," she smiled. Intimacy's a fire, stoke it or watch it die. Communication's the ninja, silent till it strikes. Early days, you'd hash it out till sunrise. Now it's fine with a side of ice. Dishes pile, plans flop, small stuff festers when buried. A 2022 Psychology Today piece says unresolved fights double resentment odds after 15 years. My sister, 49, nailed it. "He doesn't listen, so I stopped trying." That's the trap. Silence isn't peace, it's poison. I've danced that dance, arguing over trash, then weeks of quiet hate. She feels unheard, he feels attacked. A 2020 couple and family psychology study says 60% of women over 45 cite poor communication as dislikes root. Ever dodge a fight because it's easier? That's the fuse burning. Dislike grows in the ashes. Fix it, face it, talk, even when it's messy. My sister's husband, 50, finally heard her over coffee. Awkward, but they're healing. Speak or sink. Growth's a curveball. She's 53, yoga, books, dreams blooming. He's 50-year, glued to reruns. A 2023 Stanford Social Innovation Review says women outpace men in self-discovery post-40 by 25%. My neighbor Lisa, 54, glowed painting landscapes. He thinks it's silly. I'm flying. She's soaring. He's rooted. Dislike? It's grief she's left him behind. I've felt that tug. Craving new me, him stuck in old us. When she evolves and he stalls, it's a rift. A 21 Journal of Personality Studies says mismatched growth ups divorce risk 20% after 50. Ever feel like he's holding you back? That's her soul stretching. Grow with her or wave goodbye. Lisa's guy joined her art class, tentative, but they're sinking. Step up or step out. Attraction's a mirror. He stops reflecting. She dims. Wrinkles creep, hair thins. She wonders if he sees beauty. A 2021 AARP survey says 60% of women over 55 feel less desired. My friend Jane, 57, choked up. He looks through me now. No compliments, no touch. Dislike bruise when she's invisible. I've stared at that void. New haircut, no nod, confidence cracked. It's not shallow, it's human. A22 Psychology of Aging Studies says lack of affirmation triples insecurity in aging women. Ever feel unseen? That's the mirror shattering. Reflect her worth or lose her light. Jane's husband, 59, started small. Daily, you're stunning. She's softening. See her or she'll fade. Finances tear seams. She's saving for 70. He's buying golf clubs. A 2022 Fidelity Investments report says 45% of couples over 50 fight over cash. My coworker Maria, 62, snapped, "He spends. I panic. Where's our future?" Stress isn't shared. He's loose. She's tight. Dislikes the thread unraveling. I've watched it. My parents split over his live now versus her plan ahead. A 2020 financial planning review says money clashes spike resentment 30% in long marriages. Feel that knot when bills hit? That's the seam splitting. Align or fray. Maria's guy cut back. They're budgeting together now. Money's a tool. Wield it as one. Respects the glue. Lose it, loser. She's 60, seasoned, wise, he interrupts, dismisses. A 2020 Gallup poll says 50% of women over 50 feel undervalued by spouses. My mentor Ellen, 64, fumed, "He acts like I'm still a kid." Dislikes not fury, it's pain she's not equal. I've tasted that sting. Ideas ignored, efforts shrugged off. A 2021 Journal of Social Issues says respect loss doubles emotional withdrawal in women over 55. Ever feel small next to him? That's the glue dissolving. Value her or she's gone. Ellen's husband, 66, listened after a blowout, respects rebuilding. Honor her or hollow out. Here's the gut punch. Adventure. Kids fly, she's 58, travel, dance, live. He's nah, I'm good. A 2023 UCLA study says women seek novelty post-50 30% more than men. My Aunt Sue, 59, booked Italy solo. He wouldn't move. I did. Dislikes not rejection. It's a hunger he starves. I've yearned. New horizons. Him on the couch. A 22 Aging and Society study says unmet adventure triples dissatisfaction in women over 60. Feel that itch he ignores? That's her wings flapping. Fly with her or watch her soar alone. Sue's guy joined her next trip, tentative, but they're alive again. Feed her fire or fade. Meet Mrs. Clara, 61, a librarian. She loved her husband's humor until 30 years in, it felt like avoidance. He'd joke, I'd fume, she said. Kids left. She shouldered everything. Resentment bloomed. They talked, really talked. Split chores, rekindled date nights. He's funny again. She grins, dislike fading. Then Mr. Tom and Linda, 58. Intimacy tanked. She felt old. He withdrew. I hated him for it, she admitted. A therapist sparked truth. He feared rejection. They started small. Hugs, talks. Now they're closer than ever. Dislike? History. And Mrs. Rose, 66, a nurse. She soared, classes, travel. He stagnated. I couldn't stand his rut, she said. One fight, then a deal. He'd join her hikes. He's my buddy again, she laughs. Dislike dissolved. They grew together. So what's the beating heart of this raw, real ride we've taken together? Women don't start disliking their husbands out of spite, some petty grudge, or a flick of malice. It's practical pain stacking up like bricks in a wall they never meant to build. Time twists those once sweet charms into nagging chores. His laugh now a dodge, not a delight. Loads tip uneven, her shoulders sagging under kids, bills, and a house he barely notices. Intimacy cools from a roaring blaze to a flicker she can't reignite alone. Silent fights fester, words unsaid turning into wounds unseen. Growth gaps widen, she's chasing stars, he's stuck in the mud. Mirrors dim, he doesn't reflect her worth, leaving her invisible in her own skin. Money strains pull threads loose, her worry clashing with his shrugs. Respect slips, her voice drowned by his indifference. An adventure? It calls loud, a siren she hears at 60 while he snoozes through her dreams. This isn't fiction. Clara, Linda, Rose lived it, breathed it, and flipped it. Their proof dislikes not a death sentence. It's a flare gun, a signal screaming for change. Here's the bombshell that hit me like a freight train. She's craving a life that keeps moving, growing, pulsing, and he's got to step up or step aside. That 2023 UCLA stat, women seeking novelty 30% more than men past 50, says she's not done living, not by a long shot. She's not a relic on his shelf. She's a fire still burning, a river still running. See her, really see her, or watch her drift where her light's reflected back. Shift with her, match her stride, her hunger, or lose her to a world she'll conquer alone. I've seen it up close. My Aunt Sue, 59, flew solo to Italy when he wouldn't budge. I'm alive again, she said, eyes blazing. Clara split chores and rediscovered the laughter. Linda rebuilt touch and banished cold nights. Rose hiked with him and found her buddy again. This isn't a grim tale, it's a treasure map etched with hope. Talk till it hurts, split the damn load, touch her soul like it's day one, chase her wildest dreams. Small steps forge a love bigger than you remember. I've learned it the hard way. Ignoring her shift cost me years. Seeing it now lights my path. What's shaking you loose right now? Which spark flickered? Drop it below, I'm dying to hear. Try one fix, a talk, a task, a touch, and tell me how it lands. Loved this gut punch truth? Toss a 1 in the comments, share it with someone fading. Not your vibe? A 0 keeps me sharp. You've stuck with me, thank you. Subscribe, hit that bell. Let's not just survive marriage, let's make it thrive, fierce and free, till the end. See you next time, go see her, shift with her, now.